Next time I'll get it right. But for now, I'll stay right here where I belong.
You have an amazing opportunity, young generation, to rise above and be proud of the choices you're making and get out of a codependent culture and be responsible for you and work harder in your life than anyone else ever will.
What do you want? What do you want out of your life? Where do you want to go? If no one else will fight, I'll be the one. I'll be the one to step into their world. I'll be the one to walk with them.
And I mean it more than you'll ever know.
Some people will ghost you. Well, then maybe they're not real friends. At some point in time in your life, you are going to have to come face to face with yourself.
Next time I'm getting it right. Will you believe me if I say this is the last time?
And then she points at me and she goes, there's greatness inside of you. Sometimes we need people to believe things for us until we can believe it for ourselves. Because I look at what I'm doing now and it's not lining up with what they said I couldn't do. And now I'm doing everything that people said I couldn't do. Because now I travel the world and I share my story.
Next time I'll get it right. But for now I'll stay right here where I belong.
And by the time I was 26, I was sitting in 30-day inpatient treatment for alcohol. My family wanted nothing to do with me, couldn't hold a job. I was codependent, all because I thought I could get away with it. I should probably have about 10 DUIs, I only have 2. My last one was June 24th, 2010. That was the DUI that changed my life.
For it to hurt more, to stay the same. When I get through this storm, I'll find it on my own. And I'll mean it more than you'll ever know.
And so I'm going to talk about connection and belonging. We're looking for a place to belong where someone can come out and say, hey, we want you here. I want you here. We want you around. We say we live in such a connected world. If that's the case, if we really say we're more connected, then why is everybody more depressed?
There's no dumb kid, there's no worthless kid. There's only kids that have been starved of love and have been wounded so badly, we're just looking for a place to lay. We can't change the history, but we can help shape their future.
Next time I'm getting it right.
Take one thing that you want to focus on to overcome in your life. Take one thing at a time and walk through the process. The process is only a process if one stays in it. If you don't stay in the process, then it's no longer a process. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Peer Purpose Podcast. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode on Are You Tired of Believing the Lies? I felt I wanted to take that a step further this week. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit. I realized that what I was talking about, I think it was an amazing topic, but I want to take it a step further. For those that may not know, okay, about the lies that they're believing. So today we're going to touch on deception. Okay, we're going to touch on what it does actually mean to be deceived. Okay, for those that may be believing lies, but don't know that you're believing a lie, you are dealing with deception. Okay, deception, the biggest sign that someone is deceived is you don't know. There's no outward signs of it, but the fact that you don't know you're deceived. When someone is deceived, when they're believing something that isn't true, they usually don't know that they're believing something that isn't true. Okay, so today we're going to wrap a few things into one, but the biggest thing that I'm going to give you today is how do you get rid of the deception in your life if you feel like you're stuck in a cycle? And you feel like you may be believing a lie, but you're not quite sure if you're believing a lie, but you're in a cycle of negativity every single day, and you keep kind of going back around and seeing the same stuff over and over again, there is a good chance that you may be dealing with deception. Okay, so we're going to talk about a few different things with that today. Okay, I'm going to give you some tips to bring people into this so they can show you where the deception may be. This is going to be along the lines of something I've already shared when it comes to blind spots, okay? But nonetheless, if you want to get out of this cycle of believing lies, you're going to have to bring someone or many people in to hold up a mirror in front of you to show you exactly where those lies are and what they are. Okay? And take it a step further, why they are there. Okay? You're going to have to know why the lie is there. Okay? What the lie is, and exactly what area of your life it may be in. Where is it at? Where does it show up the most in the physical, in the natural? Okay? A lot of times, one could be, I'll give you an example. One could be believing a lie that they're not good enough. They don't deserve good things. Good people won't stay in their life. Chances are what's attached to that is going to be self-sabotage. Because you believe those things about you, even if something good comes along, you're not actually going to be able to hold on to it, and you'll probably do something to sabotage it. Okay? In order to get rid of self-sabotage, you have to get to the root. Well, the root is going to be connected to rejection. Okay? I don't want to go too far into that today, but rejection, the fear of it, fear of being alone, fear of people always leaving usually equates to you're a big self-sabotager. Okay? So, deception. Deception is something that hides. Okay? It hides. You don't know it's there. It's a belief that you have, and you think this is the way. I'm telling you, I see so many people deceived today in our world. Tons of people are deceived. Tons and tons of people continue to be deceived each and every day. Why? Because they don't know that what they have formed as a belief, they don't know that it's actually not right. Guys, I'm just going to come out and say this. There is a right and wrong. Like, there is a right and wrong. There is a truth and there is a lie. Many times what I have seen lately is many people believe lies and reject truth. Many people live wrong but think they live right. Okay? I'm not necessarily saying right and wrong breaks down to my opinion's better than yours, or my truth is better than your lie. That's not what I'm necessarily saying. When I talk about living from the lie, I'm talking about foundational principles that we are taught from the very beginning of our lives. That's what I mean. Foundational principles. Think of a house when it comes to foundation. There has to be a foundation laid before a house can be built. You can't just go build a house on sand with no foundation under it and think that it's going to stand. It won't. I'm talking about foundational principles. Okay? So we can look at if it's a foundational principle would be if you're trying to steal something from someone. That's wrong. That's a foundational principle. Okay? There's a lot of topics I could cover in this. I'm not going to go into all of them. So when I'm talking about living from a truth, living from a lie, I'm talking about it's the foundation of how you treat people. That's a foundational principle. Treat people how you want to be treated, right? Treating people with respect, with honor, different things like that. Okay, these are foundational principles. If your foundational principles are off, you are living deceived. Okay? Deception is a dangerous, dangerous game to play because it literally leaves you in a place where you think that what you're doing is on the right track, but it's actually not. And that's why it's destroying things for you, okay? So when deception, if you don't know you're deceived, here's what you want to do, and you think you might be living from a lie, okay? Here's what I'm going to tell you about deception too. It's almost like this. Use this principle in it. If you don't see the problem, it's like it doesn't exist. That's what deception looks like. Okay? If you don't see the problem, it's like it doesn't exist. It's kind of like the thing. I just got a thing in my head here. It's like when you were a kid. Mom and dad tells you to clean your room and you stuff everything under the bed. And you stuff everything into the closet where they can't see it. And they walk in and like, oh, your room's clean. Now, some of them probably look under the bed, right? Because they know better. But let's say they didn't catch it. Your parents were just deceived. They thought your room was clean, but what they don't know is you just took everything that was on the floor and you put it under something else. That's deception. Okay? It's like there's something covering it. And the truth is really underneath that thing. That's what deception is. Okay? That's what deception is. That's literally how a good illustration for it. So here's what you got to do to overcome deception or feeling stuck in these lies, okay? You need to bring someone in to check your blind spots. Okay, that's what you're going to have to do. I said in the last episode, can you adopt teachability and humility? Someone to bring in to look at your blind spots that you can show humility to say, yeah, I need some help. I need you to help me, in teachability. What does that mean? What they give you, can you take, open yourself up to the advice, and apply it to your life? That's one of the ways you'll overcome deception or living from the lie. Okay? One of the things you can start saying is, am I uncovering the truth here? Approach every situation saying, am I uncovering the actual truth here? Okay? That's how you gotta have a gauge. You gotta have a tester, y'all. You gotta have a measuring stick. Otherwise, you will believe and fall for anything. You'll never get to the truth. Because some people don't want you to believe the truth. Because you believing the truth won't benefit them anymore. You believing the truth won't benefit you anymore. Because it's easy to live in a lie and ignore our responsibilities. And it's easy to live in a lie and not take responsibility for the things we do. And it's easy to live in a lie and say anything we want and not think that we have to stand behind that. Okay? It's easy to make a mess and run from it. That's what we do when we're believing lies. That's what we do when we live in deception. Okay? So it's a hard, strong hold to overcome. Because deception is the easy path right away, but it's the most destructive and hard path in the long run. Okay? Here's another thing with that. Humility goes along with, I don't know it all. If you know everything already, you won't be teachable. And you know the biggest thing I can tell when someone's not teachable is when I'm talking to them and they always say, I know. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I know. When someone tells me they know, that's the first time that I say, no, you don't. They don't know. If you know everything all the time, you'll never be teachable. Okay? Like I said in the last episode, 21, 22, 15. Right now, a lot of what I see is, oh, I know everything. Well, no, you don't. If you come, another thing they said in that podcast, I have to realize that I don't know everything. Matter of fact, at that age, I have to realize that I don't know anything. One of the best things that I ever did was realize when I was 26 years old that I actually know nothing. And it's time to rebuild what I think that I know. And I believe that's where I adopted my teachability and my humility along the way. Because I realized that what I thought I knew and knowing everything didn't work out too well for me. Okay? And I'm not even talking about just the alcohol, guys. Let's not focus on that. Sure, that was a symptom of the main problem. It poked out, but that wasn't the main problem. Why? Because when I got to the main problem, haven't picked up a drink. Right? We have to stop looking at the symptoms of our problems and start looking at the cause of our problems. No, you don't just lose it on people because they pissed you off. You lose it on people because you're wounded. Right? No, you don't just push people away just because it's me against the world and I got me. You push people away because you can't trust anybody to get close to you because in the deep down reality, you're scared that they will leave you. How do you know that, Bobby? Because I've been there. No, you don't just say, I don't care what people think of me because you don't care what people think of you. You actually care the most what people think about you. Just telling you. That's the reality of the situation. You care what people say about you. Otherwise, you wouldn't get that ugly feeling that rears its head inside of you when you hear something bad about yourself. The people that don't care about what people think about them are the people that are actually living from the truth because they know who they are and they know that their value isn't decided by what people think or say about them. People will talk about you your whole life. It is what it is, even when you're doing good things. That's part of it. But if you know who you are and you really don't care, you won't even address what they're saying about you. Have to understand, have to be able to ask, where am I believing the lie? How can I bring someone in my blind spots? That's how you overcome deception, y'all. There's really one point I got for you today. And that's overcoming deception by bringing someone else into your world to help you point out your blind spots, the things that you can't see. Okay? To give you some wisdom. In order to receive wisdom, you got to show humility, you got to be humble. And then to give you some practical steps to walk out of that, you have to be teachable. Okay? Can you adopt humility and teachability? Again, the link of that podcast will be in the description. But can you adopt that in a place where you say, man, I might not know everything, but that's okay, I don't have to. I tell people all the time, I want to always be willing to learn. If I'm not willing to learn anymore, gosh, I got some big trouble coming. And I'm just going to say it. You can't be 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old and think you know everything. You don't. I'm just going to say it. I love y'all. You know that. I'm with you. But you don't. Guys, I know 30, 50-year-olds that don't know everything. Okay? You're not going to be in that space. Okay? In order to overcome deception, you have to look at other people that they may have value to add and wisdom to give you. If you can do that, you will change your foundation, your foundational principles, the things that you live by. You will change that, and you will watch your life flip upside down in a good way. Or downside up. It hurts me so bad to see people living from the lie. Because I know it's destroying them. And honestly, I'm just going to say this, and I say this humbly. If someone that comes to me for advice and doesn't take my advice and gets mad at me, I know they're living a lie. You came to me. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help you. But if you get mad at me telling you the truth, that's the big sign that you're living in the lie and you're deceived and you can't see it. Okay? If you want more help with this, email us, purepurposepodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to help you with this. It saddens me when people live from lies. Doesn't mean I can't believe lies. I can believe them, but I recognize them now. That's the only difference. I recognize the lies when they try to come. Okay? And sometimes it takes you getting through certain things, certain lies, to discover that there's more lies on the other side of that. Think about this, guys. If you're only believing surface lies, the deep lies don't even have to reveal themselves, because the surface lies are going to do enough to take you off your track to destiny. They're going to do enough that the surface lies, or the deeper lies, don't even need to reveal themselves. But if you get rid of the surface lies, right, then you can get to the other part. But it's all building a foundation. Get rid of the surface lies, you get a little deeper. Get rid of the deeper lies, you get, and then you replace the surface lies with surface truth. Then you replace the deep lies with deep truth. And then before you know it, you have roots so deep in the ground of truth that you'll recognize the lies for what they are. And deception will not be able to attach itself to you. Okay? I want to hear from you. I'm with y'all. Okay? You have to bring people into the journey to help you find the truth. You have to. That's the only way to do it. Bring people into the journey with you. Because if not, you alone with your thoughts is a dangerous place to be. Especially when they loop in a negative way constantly. Okay? Deception. Remember the blanket in the room, in the bed. You put all your stuff underneath the bed. You're not really cleaned your room. Your room just appears to be clean. Okay? And so you have to get through the covering to see what's really underneath that. And some of it's not good, and some of it's ugly. And healing is a messy process, y'all, because we're messy people. But until the day that I sit down, I will advocate that we need to be healthy people. Okay? We have to be. And it's literally not an easy process. It's a messy process, but you have to find people that aren't afraid of messy. Okay? It's life. To ignore it. Let me just tell you, I'll give you a real life example. If you think that your emotions can't be known, you're deceived. You're living in deception. Because we have them. Think about everything that you have. They deserve to be out there. Otherwise, we wouldn't have them. God didn't make us to have things that we don't need. Okay? We have things. So therefore, we have to understand what is inside. Bring someone in. Okay? Sometimes we don't know we're believing a lie. There's nothing wrong with that. It happens. That's the point of being deceived. Like you won't know. If you're living from a lie, you truly don't know. I've seen people living from a lie with good hearts. They have good intentions, but they just don't know that they're a little off. So it's not always bad that you're deceived, but it's not great. But those people I've seen, if they have like good hearts, they really want to do the right thing, they're teachable, and they show humility. They adopted it. Well, yeah, I want to know this. I tell my people all the time around me, don't let me sit in places that aren't good for me. Don't let me sit there. Even if I try to sit there. My admin's in the room. Don't let me sit there. Ever. Even if I think I should be. Don't let me sit. Call me on it. Because I know that the benefits of that in the long run. I'm with y'all. We're in this. PeerFirstPodcast@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Delighted to walk with you in this journey. There's so much gold inside of you that's going to help live out the greatness outside of you. You're doing okay. One step at a time, one day at a time. Keep stumbling forward. I love y'all. We're going to do this together. Keep climbing. I'll see you next time.
Next